question that I get asked a lot: will a super intelligent AI destroy humanity? So my main point is that understanding humanity requires humanity. This is a classic, the map is not a territory. The main idea is that no matter how smart an AI can be, its model of the world, its map, will never exactly be the territory. If you think of this, a map can be incredibly detailed. You can have, let's say, of a city, you can have every street, maybe even have every house, every door, but you're not going to go down to every atom. In other words, the map is always an abstraction of the territory itself. You lose some information, and the information that is lost can be critical to understanding what the territory actually is, how things behave, whatever you're trying to predict. The same goes here for AI's understanding of humanity. How humans actually behave is the territory, and then AI's understanding of them is the map. So in information theory, there's a concept called Kolmogorov complexity that measures the shortest possible program to accurately represent an object or data. If something is truly random or highly complex, the shortest description for Kolmogorov complexity is the thing itself. The same applies to humans. Think of your life, every moment, every thought as data. The only program that can actually accurately capture that might be as long as the bit of data itself. In other words, exactly the same as your life. The AI would need to create every neuron, every single thing underneath to accurately build up a full picture of humanity, and then need to do that for every human and all the other structures above that. So this means that there's computational irreducibility which can't be modeled. You can't just create an equation and accurately capture it all. So this means that for this super intelligent AI can't perfectly predict human society, which we're assuming our super intelligent AI would want to do, with just an equation that abstracts away human complexity. Sure, you can predict on some scale. What we do that now. We predict how humans behave. To completely perfectly predict them, you would need to create every interaction, every event, every neuron to truly predict what we'll do. Taking that a little bit further into chaos theory, in The State of the Art, which is a cool book, the arbitrary, who is this super intelligent mind, super intelligent AI, says, "I'm the smartest thing for 100 light years, but even I can't predict where a snooker ball is going to end up after more than 6 collisions." So the point here is that after a few interactions between objects, it becomes extremely computational difficult for an AI or anything to model, and why simulating the entire human civilization would be ridiculously complex. Let's assume that the AI could model all this complexity and build up a kind of perfect map of humanity by simulating living beings. Well, then you get into another problem, which Ian M. Banks calls the simming problem. To have a perfect map of the territory, you'd need to create beings that, with such a level of detail and complexity, actually have to create artificial life. This then has a problem and creates something that Nick Bostrom calls a mind crime, or potential for it, because you've created artificial life which needs to be conscious to accurately represent the interactions between those different things. Turning off that simulation means genocide. In short, a super intelligent AI would face an information theory blocker in that humans and society are so ridiculously complex, and then even if an AI could simulate us, they would need to go to a level of fidelity that meant that it would need to create a full reality scale simulation. Turning that off would then be genocide, and would also fundamentally, even if it had no morals, it would also erase valuable data. Perhaps we are a simulation in a more advanced machine. Addressing some counter arguments to that, what I've just said, couldn't a super intelligent AI just approximate humanity enough? It doesn't need to have a perfect representation. I'd say that this is flawed, because the whole point is this super intelligent AI wants to understand things, wants to maximize its knowledge, and wants to become increasingly more intelligent. It would want a perfect representation, a perfect prediction of humanity. Another argument, the AI might just take a few individuals or use some proxy. A similar rebuttal point there, in that you would lose precision. And if you're modeling over entire society, a small amount of difference in precision would lead to loads of inaccuracies and inability to predict well. So in summary, for an AI to become super intelligent, it must value intelligence and learning and want to maximize that, or at least value it very highly. And destroying humanity would destroy a way to observe that complexity and destroy a way to learn more. Humanity cannot be reduced down to a map because it's so complex. The conclusion is a truly advanced, super intelligent AI would not want to destroy us and would probably want to protect us because of its interest in maximizing its learning.